you want to make it, right? So, for example, if you see what I'm working with right now, this is just like a I call this my merch exclusive. So my merch exclusive is kind of like saying, okay, um, I have merch that I want to sell, but how do I target, the people that I want to sell, sell this merch to, right? So how do I target them? Are they, you know, uh, customer acquisition? So who's this customer? What is their perceptive map? What will make them want to buy that merch? You know. So that's what I want to kind of talk to you guys about and girls. Okay. What, step by step process, that is. So tell me exactly. Okay, this particular strategy is niche agnostic. Okay, uh, it is niche agnostic. Okay, what do I mean by that? It means it doesn't matter what niche you're in. Okay, if you follow these strategies, chances are you may be able to make sales. Again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just trying to kind of help you guys level up with your sales. Okay, I want you to be bold, and I want you to understand exactly what you need to be doing. I want you to know that you know what. Sometimes it's not just about what somebody's telling you. It's about what you can do for yourself, right? It's about these strategies that can enable you to become the best version of yourself. What do I mean by that? The best version of whatever it is you're trying to do. Okay, let's face it. Okay, listen, I've been at this for quite a while, and I've seen a lot of companies come and go. I've seen a lot of companies want to make the big, hairy, audacious goals, and sometimes it doesn't work for them. You hear me? It doesn't work for them. Oh, by the way, don't forget, I'm going to be leaving a link below to some of this merch right here that you can tap into. Tap into the merch and let me know exactly to what extent that's going to benefit you with your sales strategy for fourth quarter. Your sales strategy, again, is only as good as what you want it to be, right? Your sales strategy is it's not just that you're trying to make sales. It's just like, hey, look, I've known exactly that this sales strategy may not materialize, and some people are already they already making sure that they understand the impact of this fourth quarter sales strategy and to what extent it could materialize for them. Okay, so but what I'm hoping to do is through this particular live tell you the exact step by step processes that I think, okay, that you should be using to basically weather the storm, because it's going to be a huge fourth quarter what you call it, disappointments. Okay, people are going to be disappointed. They're going to be looking for somebody to blame for their disappointment. They're going to be saying, hey, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? Did we actually overestimate what the customer strategy could be, or did we overestimate what we think the customer is capable of doing? So that these are some items that I think you should be basically talking to yourself about, talking to your planners, talking to your customer service representative, talking to your marketers, and see to what extent you can actually like defray maybe some costs that you've already factored into your organizational mix, but you are unable to kind of like see those costs come to fruition. That makes sense. Okay, so one of those costs is basically your marketing costs. Your marketing costs. You hear me? How much do you spend on marketing? Like how much do you literally spend on getting people? FNT, I see you join again because again, this is more of a thing that I'm trying to help people with. So I'm going to get some people to come join me on this live conversation right here. So you tell me exactly what are you looking to achieve? Like what are you looking to achieve, and to what extent do you think your fourth quarter sales might help you achieve that in the long run, right? Because a lot of people they've been talking to me about certain things that they've been worried about, but I haven't really like gotten deep into the analysis to help them in the process. Okay, but I've just sitting on the side. Oh, by the way, if you're on my YT, the link to subscribe to my channel should be somewhere in the description of this video below. And if you're on my TT, you already know. If you already subscribed to me, go ahead and share this video. That's what I'm going to help you to do. What I'm going to do right now, too, I'm going to share it to my 10,000 plus followers on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a professional site that allows professionals to actually have conversations and discussions about trending topics. So right now, the trending topic is, your fourth quarter sales. Let's talk about your fourth quarter sales. How is your fourth quarter sales gonna be impacted, but by what's going on right now? So fourth quarter sales. Okay, sales forecast and projections may they may miss targets. Let's talk about it live. Let's discuss, right? Hashtag live. So let's do that. Let's do that right now. That's what we're doing. Okay, we're posting this to 10,000 plus people on LinkedIn. Boom, let's go. So that's done. All right. So while that's posted right now, and we're waiting to have the conversation, and we have people talking, let's see what's happening. Okay, so that's LinkedIn. So let's go ahead and invite more people from TT. Okay, a lot of people at TT are just kind of like, they come for TTT for entertainment. But to me, if you're on YT too, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because I'm not just out here talking. I'm out here to deliver values. I'm out here to make people think twice about what they're doing. So you can be very, very productive. Okay, let's see, Najee, I see you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. FNT, I already kind of said hi to you. Just feel free to come in. Feel free to tap in. Feel free to say, hey, look, we want to be part of this conversation. We know for a fact that our fourth quarter sales is highly dependent on material and on supplies, inventory, for which we may have stockages, right? What does that mean? That means you've sold a lot, but you cannot predict at what point that you're gonna actually like run out of the inventory, and that's pretty much gonna impact your overall sales. So let me ask you guys this and girls this: who ordered most of the inventory for fourth quarter during the transitional period, and like the maybe in the second quarter, who was impacted by like what was happening by economically with the ports. So let's talk about your fourth quarter sales. Again, the fourth quarter sales may be very, very anemic. Right? What do I mean by being anemic? It means they may not be as robust as previously forecasted. Okay, so fourth quarter sales, which they make up the majority of your sales. Okay, so if you haven't, if you're having a hard time, right now with fourth quarter sales, what's that going to portend for you in the long run? Okay, so I've shared this I've invited a whole bunch of people to come through so we can have a conversation. The merch that you see right there is part of my merch strategy to be able to kind of reach out to the right folks at the right time and deliver the right merch. So if you know who your customer perceptive map is, that and you have your fourth quarter strategy nested with that perceptive map, chances are you're going to be making your sales. Okay, again, like I said, some people don't have enough budget that's ready right now uh, from a marketing perspective to be able to meet the demands for fourth quarter sales. So some people were already running their ads. Okay, so let's say fourth quarter sales strategy, customer acquisition step by step. This strategy is niche agnostic. Okay, I just happen to be in the consumer uh, packaged goods and direct to consumer space when it comes to like clothes like this. Some of you may be in the service industry where you're doing consulting. Okay, so what then is going to be the impacts of what is happening within your neck of the woods? Again, I'll tell you right now that fourth quarter sales are going to be basically anemic. These are my projections. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. I predict fourth quarter sales are going to be anemic. The reason I think they're going to be anemic is because there are a lot of things happening right now in the broader community that I think is going to impact the fourth quarter. For example, the September numbers are not out yet. Okay, people are eagerly awaiting September numbers. But if you look at what happened in the month of August, where there was less than positive and less than robust numbers. In other words, there was 22,000, people that gained employment. But the thing is, those numbers were flat when compared to the previous quarters, previous time period, the preceding months. Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, 1.9 million people, were unemployed. The month of August. So the question then becomes, when you see what's happening right now within the government space, where they're talking about there might be a government shutdown, to what extent is that going to impact sales? Because let's face it, a lot of people that took the deferred resignation program are actually now in a situation where they're down. So they're going to be going into the unemployment rolls. What does that mean then for sales? That means there'll be more for less of a disposable income for people to use. Well, if there's less of a disposable income, that invariably means that they're not going to be able to like make all the plans that they wanted to make. You saw some people like scale back on their fourth quarter numbers when they were worried about the tariff numbers, right? They were saying, "Hey, we hear that the tariffs are going to be so expensive, we're not going to be able to stock up our inventory." This primarily was part of the retail sector, but you also have a lot of manufacturers that had components that were like basically they got from other places. So when you have a situation like, oh, by the way, look at my daily numbers right there on TT. Okay, so I'm looking for 213,000 people to reach number 99. Let's go, let's go. So if you can help him with that, I really appreciate it. Okay, back to what I was talking about, YT. When you have components that filter through, to make you finished goods, okay, what that then becomes part of your inventory, you may have a situation where you have a work in progress. Okay, so those goods are not finished. If you see right here on YT, you see this merch that I'm see over here. I don't even have to do anything with it because it's basically uh, somebody else does all the work. I just provide the design. You can see the DJ one page design right there. You can also see this on TT. That's what you see. What I'm talking about. Make your first merch sales. And I'm serious about this. Make your first merch sales. But how are you gonna do make your first merch sales if you don't understand how to acquire customers? Again, remember, it's all about customer acquisition. How are you gonna acquire these customers? Because these customers are there to get acquired, but you have to have a step-by-step strategy. So that's what I'm gonna kind of help you guys. I'm gonna walk you through the process that I utilize to acquire customers. And this processes, again, they're niche specific. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, these processes are going to work for you. So how to create a customer acquisition plan for a company that's starting up. Again, remember, most of the small businesses on TT and YT are small businesses. You're mostly startups. So to me, I think you need to, if I recommend this strategy, just consider that it's for small, up and coming businesses that are just basically starting out. Okay, because a lot of people are looking at entrepreneurship as the way to boost their economic survival in this most uncertain times that we're in, right? Can I get a yes, yes? Can I get a yes on the chat real quick? Let's go, let's go, let's go. I need somebody to tell me that they're getting value. Also in YT, if you're getting value right now, I need you to type yes in the chat real quick. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I also want to see who is participating in this particular live, because what I've learned is that when you start participating, uh, it's not a play where I'm trying to make the algorithm do that, but I'm gonna give you the top level things that you need to be thinking about. So what is growth and what is growth hack? What is growth and what is growth hack? Big E109, I see you on TT. Okay, welcome to the welcome. What is growth and what is growth hack? I'll tell you one thing. If you're looking to grow right now, okay, if you're looking to grow, but your growth is dependent on fourth quarter sales, this is when you need to actually you need to take everything you've been doing the entire year, and you need to kind of like um make that smaller, like for a huge impact. So for example, when you first ventured into customer acquisition, you probably started by trying random tactics, right? You ran Facebook ads, you ran YT ads, you ran TT ads, right? And you wrote blogs, and you were sharing stuff, and you tried the latest growth, and everything you were just doing, you were thinking was going to be successful, right? Okay. After experimenting with a few of these ideas, okay, you realize you're probably not making much of an impact. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Type yes in the chat if you're following what I'm saying. You realize you weren't making much of an impact, right? So then you started saying, you can't randomly try different tactics, and you can't expect up to the right success. You need something that's called strategy behind what it is you're doing. Again, I'm going to repeat this. You need strategy behind what it is you're doing. That's why your fourth quarter sales trajectory and strategy has to be something that's nested between your customer perceptive map. What do I mean by that? Who is your customer? Who is this person that's going to buy this merch, right? Who is this person that's going to buy this merch? Who is this person that say, hey, look, I understand the value proposition of this merch, and I want to tap in. That is what your strategy is, right? If you're ready to understand who your strategy and your customer perceptive map is, go ahead and type me in the chat. Let's go, Nelson. Christine, thank you for joining. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm looking for people that are willing to like type in. Okay, type me in the chat right now. If you're on YT, type me in the chat. Share this live. I don't care what you do, but we need this live to be number one right now. I also have goals up there. Go ahead and type the goals, share it, and so more people can come through. I've invited a lot of people to come through. So I'm looking for the right people that are looking to boost their fourth quarter sales. They're looking to boost their fourth quarter strategy implementation through growth hack. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go, let's go. So you put together a plan of attack, right? And you start organizing your efforts into, I hate to say it, a spreadsheet, and to track your metrics. But there's nothing wrong as long as you have a way to track your metrics. That's the key. Okay. So you started, tracking your metrics, and you start seeing, after running this for a while, right? You realize it's extremely difficult to continuously improve on your efforts. It's very difficult. And who wants to be? do the lion's share of the work in the fourth quarter? Who wants to do that? I don't know. So then you just ran another YT ads, you ran another TT ads, but you're not seeing any traction. Okay. So after 2 weeks, you say, okay, let me see if this is going to help me with my sales. Now what? What do you do, right? Only then do you realize that you need to do what's called a growth driven process. What do I mean? Again, I'm going to say a growth driven process. But the growth is not going to materialize if you don't have a goal, right? So, what was your goal initially in the year? What were you trying to achieve? And what was your sales target? Again, remember, your sales target may not be what it is today because there's some outlying factors that are now impacting you. So, this outlying factors is what most entrepreneurs don't take into account when they're doing their planning, okay, when they're doing their marketing, when they're looking at their marketing budgets. Somebody a few weeks ago told me that they needed a social media manager. But okay, do you need a social media marketer manager now in the fourth quarter? That may be a good idea because again, remember, it depends on what industry they are. But again, these acquisition strategies are platform and niche agnostic. That means it doesn't matter. This is what you should be doing. Okay, so you need what's called a goal-driven process. Type that in the chat for me. Let's go. Goal. I'm gonna also be typing in goals-driven process. Okay, what is that? A goals-driven process is one that has your goals in mind, right? So it has your goals in mind. So you kind of say, okay, I want to make X amount of dollars in the fourth quarter, and this is how I'm going to go about making it. Right? Makes sense? Okay. Then you say to yourself, well, if I'm going to make X amount of dollars in the fourth quarter, what are the tactics that's going to support that broader goal? Right? That's where you create a process. You may say, for example, I'm going to go live for two hours per day. If you're a content creator, because then I'm going to expose myself, and more people are going to understand exactly what my solution is. Again, remember, if you're not helping somebody by attracting the right customers that you want, it's going to be next to impossible for you to then, be able to sell them a merch like this, right? So you got to be going live, you got to be talking, you got to be kind of painting the picture about what it is that you're looking to tap into, right? So this merch right here, again, like I said, I'm going to be leaving the link somewhere in the description of this video below. Okay, so when I repost it, go ahead and tap the link and grab the merch. But if you're on TT right now, I'm going to be doing, you know what, let me just do that right now. So if you want to grab this merch right now, you need to go to the @Hangout Shop, okay? @Hangout Shop. So go ahead and tap in. That's where you can get it. If you go to @Hangout Shop, you should be able to kind of like tap in and grab the merch. Okay, let's go. All right, let's go. But I'm going to be posting this and making sure people understand exactly what's going on. The understanding that @Hangout Shop is where you're going to grab the particular merch that I'm selling on TT. Okay, but if you're on YT, I'm going to be leaving the link somewhere in the description below. All right, don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to like and share, because what I'm going to be doing later on when I come back, I'm going to tell you what the tactics you should be employing is. Does that make sense? What tactics should you be employing? And to what extent should you be employing those tactics? Okay. Because let me tell you something. The tactics is going to make the difference between if your plan is going to be successful. Remember, it's a goals driven process, but the tactics is going to be the game changer. Yes, 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 yes. Let me know if you understand what I mean by tactics. Type me in the chat. Let's go. Type me in the chat. Let's go. If you also understand that it's not just about what you're going to be achieving, it's about how you achieve it. Type me in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, but I haven't even started dropping the value bumps. Don't even think I've started talking about the value bumps. Alice, thank you for joining on YT. Let's go. Let's go. So we're talking about fourth quarter sales strategy, customer acquisition, step-by-step processes. And this strategy is niche agnostic. What do I mean by that? It doesn't matter what product you're selling. It doesn't matter what you've been doing the last 3 quarters. The fourth quarter is when most businesses reach out and start making mad sales, okay? Huge sales. But if there's external factors that's been impacting the way you do business, chances are you're not going to be able to reach those targets that you set for yourself in the fourth quarter. Okay. Let's face it, a majority of businesses, particularly small businesses, make most of their sales in the fourth quarter. Okay, this merch, right? You see me right here, Alice. By the way, I'm going to be leaving a link somewhere in the description below, so you can tap into that. But in the meantime, I recommend you join my channel. If you haven't already subscribe so you can be getting the exact step-by-step processes that I'm using to help entrepreneurs just like you, Alice. The exact step processes I'm using to help people on YT, because I'm multi live right now. So because again, I think fourth quarter sales is a game changer. Okay, we only have a few days left in the month of September. We're obviously getting ready for October. Then you're going to have November and December. These are months that people are using to kind of get together, with families. These are months that want to celebrate something. But here's the thing: there's an outlier right now that most people are worried about, and it's in the government space. They're saying people are going to be unemployed, and we're talking millions of people. Meanwhile, people are looking for the September numbers to be able to see what they can do in the month of October. So you got all these externalities, where I call them, that could impact the overall trajectory of sales. Okay, so then if you're small businesses and you've been watching, for example, what the tariffs look like through the summer, and you've been saying, okay, I don't know if I can meet the demands for fourth quarter, and you guys probably heard there was a lot of cancellations. When people had inventories they thought they were going to buy, and then these tariffs made them pretty much scale back their plans. So you had a situation where the trajectory and the forecast did not materialize. So that's why right now I'm kind of saying, okay, what is going to give? What is going to give? Are people going to come back and say, you know what, we were wrong because the tariffs did not materialize? Or they're going to say, oh, we over forecasted? Okay, would they be an over forecasting? Okay, I don't know, because again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just kind of doing some analysis. I'm doing some strategy input. Okay, so you can make the decisions for yourself. I'm not telling you what to do. For example, this merch right here, I used a new strategy to develop this merch, and I chose one product for my fourth quarter. Because some people have everything else, but they don't understand that sometimes you got to scale back on your product listing. What products you want to be successful? For example, if I haven't had any sales in the last three quarters, I just want one product. I just want to be able to promote that product. I want that product to be visible everywhere. That's what I call growth hack. Okay, so when I have that process that's linked to a goal, say I want to make $100,000 in the fourth quarter, that's 3 months. What does that mean? You break that down into 3 months. Okay, so you start thinking, you say, okay, this is how I'm going to get after it. Okay, then you be like, okay, how much do I have in resources? You probably don't have any resources. Then that means you have to start, like, maybe getting and reaching out to other people and see if you could help them with whatever they're doing in exchange for you getting some marketing promotion. I don't know. So think about what month to month your game plan is going to look like. Okay, so after you do that, so the tactics are then, like I said, very important. Can you sustain those tactics? Can you sustain them? Okay, because it's always going to be uh, effective if they're sustainable, right? Sustainable tactics. So a process is sustainable and continuous as long as you are committed to it. Okay. Are you committed to growth in the fourth quarter? I don't know. You have to make that decision, because nobody's going to make you want to make sales. Nobody's going to make you want to increase your viewership. Nobody's going to help you book more consulting clients. Nobody's going to help you sell more hoodies, right? More hoodies. That's what my goal is. See these hoodies right here by DJ 1PH on YT. You also see it right here on TT. This my goal. I sell at least 1,000 pieces of this stuff. So I'm gonna need your help right now to level up with me and help me in the process. Okay. I have about 3 minutes left of this live. Within these 3 minutes, I need you to be liking, I need you to be sharing, I need you to be subscribing to my channel. If you haven't already done that, make sure you do that, because I have more value that I'm going to be dropping. And this is the same value bombs that I've been using to help people in my community. Okay, so also, if you don't already know, I have a school community where I use this to do what I call co-working. Within the co-working, I have people and I teach you some of the strategies that I use, just like I just did right now with the fourth quarter sales. If that sounds like something of value that you want to be a member of, go ahead. I'm going to be leaving the link somewhere in the description of this video below. When you tap that link, it's going to send you to my school community, and you can sign up. When you sign up, you're going to be getting the behind the scenes video. You're going to be getting the TTPs, what I call the tactics, techniques, and procedures. And these are the tactics, techniques, and procedures that you can employ in your own particular situation. Because again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you that right now I'm dropping value bombs, and I'm here to help people achieve their goals. And if this is something that you think you're going to be taking full advantage of, go ahead and follow me. Or if you're on TT right now, you see my goals right there. I will be more than happy if you can help me achieve those goals. So right now, my daily number 99, I need 213,000 people on YT. I need 100,000 views on this particular video. So make sure you share it, Alice. Anybody that's really wanting to help themselves in the fourth quarter need to be doing exactly what I'm doing. They need to be helping people. So let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's freaking go. Let me tell you something. The biggest thing that may happen in October that's going to dramatically impact sales, okay, is government shutdown. I'm gonna say that again. The biggest thing that's gonna happen in the month of October that's gonna dramatically impact sales is government shutdown. What do I mean by that? It means people are going to have less disposable income. They're going to be more worried about like feeding their family versus going out and spending money on merch. Okay. But let me tell you something. There's people that are diehard fans for this for certain products. Okay. They may be able to substitute those products for cheaper products. Okay. So think about this. If you're in a space where you have complementary products that are substitutable, you may be able to kind of like shift your strategy a little bit to account for the fact that people are going to have less disposable income. People are probably going to be sitting at home. They're not going to be eating that much. People probably they're going to cancel their subscriptions. Okay, so they can save money that way. They're probably going to start figuring out how to cook more. Okay, so if you have a way to kind of help people cook more, that might be something. So, or if you have, for that matter, a way for them to save money. Okay, you can get into like something to say, hey, like I survived the government shutdown because I helped you save that. That could be a T-shirt. I just gave you a free game right now. Go tap into that if you're in this T-shirt space. Okay, but look, listen. Let me tell you something. I know for a fact that a lot of people are going through a lot of problems. I know that. Okay, but I want you to be successful. I want you to be highly motivated, because, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I want you to be motivated because I know there is some kind of success at the tail end of this. There's success waiting for you. And this is not the kind of success to be played with. This is a success that's reserved for people that are waiting to do on people that are waiting to do good for themselves. Okay, Logan, thank you. I see you. Go ahead and tap in. Okay, tap in. Let me also know where you guys are coming from. If you want to kind of share that with me, that's fine. Alice, I know you kind of got in there, so feel free to tell me where you're coming from, and let's see what the if the market atmospherics where you are may be different from where Jane is over there, or it may be different from where John is. But at the end of the day, growth hack is a strategy and it's a tactics, and growth is our process. I'm gonna say it again. Growth hack are strategies and tactics. So that means if you want to grow by a certain percentage in the fourth quarter, if you want to make X amount of sales in the fourth quarter, you're gonna have to employ what I call growth hacks. That is the bottom line. You don't have time to put a process in place which is you're trying to grow. If you never grew in the fourth quarter, I'm sorry, if you never grew in the first, second, and third quarters, you're not going to grow in the fourth quarter. What you need is a growth hack strategy. Okay. So, again, I'm teaching people how to do this using the step-by-step process. And these processes are platform agnostic, they are niche agnostic. If you employ them, you're going to be in a better position than you were right now. Okay. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's all I wanted to come and just kind of get you all motivated and tell you just keep the faith. Okay, keep fighting it, because as a small business, people don't understand how difficult it is to make it. They only see the success stories, but they don't see how much failures it took you to get from where you are right now. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. You can come back, save it, and watch it multiple times, because that's what it's going to take. I'm going to come back again in the evening, and I'm going to share those specific growth hack strategies that I'm talking about. Okay, all right, see you guys, take care.